It's now approaching 7 months since the Glazers issued a statement to confirm that they were open to selling Manchester United, but the takeover process rumbles on. British billionaire Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Qatari banker Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani are the two parties vying to take control of the club. Ratcliffe is after a majority stake while the latter wants to secure full control. As the takeover process continues to rumble on, the Premier League announced a significant rule change on Wednesday as they banned fully leveraged buyouts of its clubs. The Premier League announced the changes in its regulation on Wednesday following its annual general meeting, with all members unanimously agreeing to the change. The Glazer family financed the majority of their £790 million purchase of United in 2005 through loans, some being secured against club assets. The owners and directors test was introduced by the Premier League a year earlier to ensure that buyers are fit and proper. 2252 Elliot Jackson. That's all folks, thanks for tuning in to today's blog. We'll be back tomorrow to follow all of the latest Manchester United takeover developments. 2239 Key event takeover roundup. Manchester United's takeover process has been littered with frustration among the fanbase, and the most recent reports that new owners may not be in place for the transfer window will only increase anger. The 7-month takeover process has been typified by a week in which conflicting reports have led to confusion, with the final outcome being little tangible development. On Monday, Qatari media suggested Sheikh Jassim's bid was to be successful before backtracking amid denials from the bankers' camp. With the transfer window now open and the likes of Liverpool and Arsenal well into their summer business, the uncertainty regarding a takeover is only heightening the sense of anger that Erik ten Hag's plans will be affected. Men's Sport have rounded up the key stories from Thursday's developments. 2107 Elliot Jackson takeover could still drag on. Manchester United's wait for new ownership could drag on into next season, according to the latest reports. The Daily Mail state that with no preferred bidder selected, the takeover will rumble on. Once someone is chosen, a further 8 to 12 weeks approval process would follow before a deal is officially approved. 1933 Elliot Jackson. Another takeover twist? A contradictory opinion on the Qatar paperwork that emerged later today. Faisal Islam, who has followed the takeover saga closely, believes that it could be a positive indication that a decision is close. 1841 Elliot Jackson. Share prices rocket with increased speculation that the takeover could be drawing to a close. Stocks in Manchester United have flown in price this afternoon. 1704 Elliot Jackson takeover twists. Manchester United's takeover saga continues to be shrouded in confusion following claims Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani has been granted exclusivity in the negotiations to take over. Current owners the Glazers announced their decision to explore strategic alternatives for the club back in November, with a 7-month wait following that initial statement. 5 rounds of bidding have taken place with several U.S. banking firms, Sheikh Jassim and British billionaire Sir Jim Ratcliffe entering the race to become the next owners of the Old Trafford outfit. The Qatari banker set a deadline for Friday, June 8, after which his 9-2 Foundation said they would no longer actively participate in discussions as they feel the Glazers and Rain Group, which is handling the sale, had had ample time to seek clarifications and revisions to his offer. Read more. 16. 56 Lee Swettenham, have your say on United. Our Summer United survey is here and thousands have already taken part. Add your voice here. 1618 Elliot Jackson reports shot down the BBC, as well as other sources, claim the Reuters report about Qatar negotiating exclusivity is wide of the mark. 1617 Key event takeover document explained the approval of Sheikh Jassim's 9-2 Holdings Limited as a UK company is not thought to be an indicator of an imminent takeover decision. The company was incorporated by government agency Companies House on Thursday, with Sheikh Jassim listed as one of the directors and an address on Norwich Street in London listed as the foundation's UK residence. Read more here. 1603 Key event Qatar bid negotiating exclusivity. Manchester United are negotiating to grant exclusivity to the Qatari consortium led by Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani, according to Reuters. Speculation has increased that the takeover saga could be coming to a conclusion, which would end the Glazers' ownership of Manchester United. 1550 Elliot Jackson Manchester United fans get excited over takeover document. Manchester United fans have been getting excited after paperwork emerged 9-2 UK Holdings was set up as a company by Sheikh Jassim. However, that anticipation has been quashed, with the paperwork for the new UK business sent to Companies House months ago. It has now been approved, rather than the timing be a direct indication that a takeover is imminent. 1458 Daniel Murphy United fans must ignore temptation with fresh Sheikh Jassim takeover reports. Manchester United fans have unsurprisingly encountered a number of charlatans on social media over the last few months. With supporters desperate for an update on the takeover process, opportunistic accounts have been given the attention they crave, leading some to struggle to decipher fact from fiction in the search of reading what they want to hear. The spread of fake news can happen within just a few clicks, and earlier in the week, that's what happened when it was suggested Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani of Qatar had been successful in acquiring the club from the Glazers. The club's shares on the New York Stock Exchange began to rise on the back of the reports, and the price reached $24 per share by Tuesday morning, with traders betting on the reports of Sheikh Jassim purchasing United being true. 1433 Daniel Murphy United takeover weight imposed on Sheikh Jassim and Sir Jim Ratcliffe is playing into Glazers' hands. It was quite ironic that the Premier League announced on Wednesday it is banning fully leveraged club buyouts via a unanimous decision. 18 years ago, the Glazers acquired Manchester United for £790 million using loans to finance a large proportion of their takeover. United would have been one of the clubs who cast their vote in Wednesday's decision. It must be underlined that the Glazers did use some of their own funds in their 2005 takeover. But the irony lies in that the debt acquired from loans, some of them secured against the assets of the club, has been such a charged subject during their tenure. 1341 Key event Ferdinand claims United takeover is a matter of days if not hours away from completion. Speaking on his 5 podcast, Ferdinand says, Man United takeover is imminent. We're hearing the Qatari bid is the one that is taking over, the one that is going to be accepted, and the one that is going to go through. We're hearing it's close. We're hearing it's in a matter of days this is going to happen. If not hours. I am looking forward to that, and we can see then, we can have a plan for this window. Because that was a concern for me, that if we don't get it sorted out before this transfer window opens properly and get started, We're going to be behind everybody and playing catch-up. Once this bid goes through and the deal goes through and it's sanctioned and the sale is made, the players that are currently at the club will get a new lease of life, let alone the players coming in. Fingers crossed this is right. Fingers crossed the information is really, really true. I've got it from a good source that it is true. 12:36 Daniel Murphy Glazer is continuing to break his promise to United fans with takeover silence at first. The deadline was Easter. Then it was the end of the season. Some Manchester United fans will just be happy if a takeover of the club ever comes to fruition. It has been 7 months since the club was put up for sale, and still there is an element of uncertainty surrounding it and when, if ever, it will actually come to a conclusion. With so much uncertainty still surrounding the process, it is easy to see why fans are getting agitated. False social media reports were pushed by a respected Qatari media outlet earlier this week, and the sense of tribalism among the fanbase grows wider the longer it drags on. 11:44 Daniel Murphy 4 new signings United could make if Sheikh Jassim takeover goes through. Manchester United's summer transfer window officially began on Wednesday as the Premier League's market opened its doors. Erik ten Hag has admitted last month he was in the dark about his budget for the summer, but Men Sport understands he has a shortlist of players who he wishes to sign. This week, speculation has ramped up about the takeover process. Reports on Monday suggested Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani was closing in on a deal for the Reds. However, sources close to the Qataris' camp dismissed the claims as pure speculation. Sheikh Jassim has proposed $1 billion, £790 million, of additional investment in the club on top of his $5 billion, £9 billion, offer for United. Should he or Sir Jim Ratcliffe take over, supporters will be hopeful of a spending spree to help Ten Hag strengthen his team. 10:35 Daniel Murphy United's 2023-24 Premier League fixture list released in full. Manchester United will start their 2023-24 Premier League campaign at home to Wolverhampton Wanderers on Monday, August 14. It has been confirmed. The Premier League released the dates of all 380 fixtures at 9 a.m. on Thursday morning, confirming that newly promoted Burnley will take on champions Manchester City in the opening game of the season on Friday, August 11. After facing Wolves on the opening weekend of the season, United will travel to the capital the following weekend to take on Tottenham Hotspur at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They will round off the opening month of the season with a tussle against Nottingham Forest at Old Trafford on Saturday, August 26. 9:30 Ross Jackson I Simi. Premier League confirmed takeover rules have changed. It was confirmed yesterday that the Premier League has amended its takeover rules. One of the changes means that fully leveraged buyouts are now banned. The move was confirmed on Wednesday after the Premier League's annual general meeting, and plenty of other changes that will impact United were made. 8:09 Ross Jackson winner announced soon? It's being reported by the Daily Mail that there's hope a winner in the United takeover race will be announced this week. Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani are both hoping to buy the club, though the former is understood to want a majority stake in United while Sheikh Jassim wants a full buyout. 8:04 Ross Jackson. Hello. Good morning and welcome to the Manchester United Takeover blog. Stick with us as we bring you all of the updates you need.